This is the video tutorial for theory assignment number 2, hearing intervals. In the last video, I spoke about the history of the interval, how perhaps it was created in the Western Hemisphere, and how they're put together, how you write them, etc. In this video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to hear intervals. Hearing intervals is probably the most important skill that you can develop as a musician, because in developing that skill, everything just starts to get better. And like I wrote here, it starts to feel like a superpower. Things just come into your head. You start to play more in tune. You learn songs faster. You don't get lost when you're inside a song form. You can hear what other people are doing better and communicate with them musically just so much better. But it does take time. So I'm going to give you some tips on this. The intervals that we talked about in the last tutorial, where we have basically 12 intervals that we need to hear within an octave, I categorize them into sets. And so there's 3 sets. In set 1, you have the unison or the same note, the octave, the fifth, and the fourth. This is the most common, from Gregorian chant to rock and roll up to today. These are the most common intervals in Western music that you're going to hear. Then you have the thirds and sixths. These are what give chords their major and minor quality. And then finally you have the seconds and sevenths, which are more dissonant sounds with the tritone. Okay, so just some things to keep in mind, and then I'll show you how to do some of these examples and how to practice them. When we're going the octave, for example, F to F, and the other way is also F to F. It's the same thing, right? Remember in the other video that I said that intervals kind of have their buddies, or their inverse partners, if you want to call it that. So when you go from F to C, it's a perfect fifth going up. But when you go from F to C going down, it's the partner, which is the perfect fourth. The opposite is also true. If I go from F to B flat, the opposite of that perfect fourth going down from F to B flat is a perfect fifth. So try not to get confused that when you hear somebody say, you know, from F to C is a fifth, whether it's up or down, that's not true. When it's ascending, it is. And when it's going down, it's a fourth, because they're partners, like thirds and sixths and seconds and sevenths. That's why they're grouped that way. Okay? That's it for this video. I'm going to give you one more on how to hear them and what program to use.